Alright, what up? What up? So tonight we're gonna get into some higher learning. Yeah, this gonna be a little deep one. So if you can open your mind to what I'm talking about, if you understand economic growth, you maybe need to Google it. But this right here is gonna basically talk about how we can have economic growth in the community that we come from. You know, the black community. This is how we can have economic growth amongst the black community. So, because I hear a lot of people talking about this, and for me, I truly believe that everything starts in the mind. But when we talking about actions, and since I have noticed that a lot of people's mind is starting to become a collective, right? So now we can start talking about actions that we need to take to get where we need to go. So I got this little data set that somebody put together. One of the analysts over at Google actually put this analyst together, and this is about countries. These are the conclusions they came up with when they was trying to see which countries were the wealthiest, the healthiest, and the happiest, right? And that's what we actually looking to do amongst our community. We looking for wealth, health, and happiness. You understand? So the conclusions was that wealthier countries and ones that have sustained economic growth tend to have higher average happiness levels. Healthier, and it also says healthier countries also tend to have a happier population. However, healthier countries also tend to be wealthy. All right, healthier. So that's healthier countries also tend to have a happier population, and healthier countries also tend to be wealthier. Evidence suggests that wealth, health, and happiness go together. So let me break that down a little bit. So when it says wealthier countries and ones that sustain economic growth tend to have higher average happiness levels, that means the people that got more money or communities that are striving more have higher happiness levels. The people that are just more happy in, any area where it's more happiness at, that means it's less, most likely it's less violence, you know what I'm saying, less death, you understand what I'm saying, and more sustainability. So that's what usually leads to more happiness, usually. So then it says healthier countries also tend to have a happier population. So that's just like saying, see, from my knowledge, I understand that people who are happier don't have as much stress on them, right? And stress alone causes disease. See, I know, I tell y'all this all the time. Stress alone causes disease. So healthier countries also tend to have a happier population. But it also says that healthier countries also tend to be wealthier. You understand what I'm saying? So evidence suggests that wealth, health, and happiness all seem to go together. So people who have more money, people who are healthier, are people who are happier. People who are happier are healthier. People who are healthier seem to be happier, and people who are healthier seem to be wealthier. So I hope that can make sense. I'm trying to break it down as simple as I can get. But see, what they didn't get into was the cause and effect. Why is that? You know what I'm saying? They came with the conclusion of the fact that the certain countries, but they didn't actually say what the cause. It says does not. This is what it says at the bottom of the page. It says when I looked up this data set, they had it was a graph. They had a basically it's a visualization instead of you having to read it. You can just look at it. What was it? I can't remember if it was a line graph. I think it was like a picture graph. But they had the different countries and everything, and then you know how graphs look. So but at the bottom of the page it said it does not mean that there is causal effect. Further analysis needed. So that means it wasn't a proper analysis of how to basically make it work. Communities that don't have that can have that. Why do they have that? So let's talk about it. It's a few questions we have to ask ourselves. So because we want our community, the black community, to actually strive. We want to be wealthier. We want to be healthier. We want to be happier. We want to live long. We want to have financial sustainability. We want to have happy relationships. You know what I'm saying? We want to have money coming in. We want our elders to be healthy. We want them to live long lives. We don't want our children to be out here killing each other. We want to make sure that we all come together and that we are one. And this is how we're gonna do it. So we talked about I think my last video. We talked about cognitive thinking versus cognitive dissonance. So on this video, so first we're gonna ask a few questions based off of what I just got to telling y'all. So I'm not gonna answer the questions, but I'm gonna put the questions out there just to give y'all something to think about, and then I'm gonna start breaking some stuff down for you. So the first question is, why are wealthier countries healthier and happier? All right. The second question is, why are healthier countries wealthier? The third question is, why are countries that sustain economic growth happier? All right. The fourth question is, why are healthier countries happier? All right. Now let's talk about this economic growth, because that's what this video is mainly about. Why are countries that sustain economic growth happier? You know what I'm saying? We already know that people, healthier countries are happier. All right. So we know that healthier countries are wealthier. So it all goes together. So first, let's talk about what economic growth is. Well, some of the things that let's talk about some of the effects of economic growth. So we have these different factors, right? So we have the natural factors, we have the human factors, you know, like the of the people, you know, let's not say humans, but let's just say the people factors, the population, when it comes to economic growth, that's a factor. We're gonna talk about that. Physical capital, financial capital, well, money basically, physical capital, technological factors, and institutional factors, you know what I'm saying, like where we get our information from, our institutions. All these factors matter when it comes to economic growth, all right? So GDP, hold on one second. My bad, I had to pause. That's why I don't do live videos. I'm a busy man. So next, GDP. So let's talk about what GDP is, all right? So GDP is the total value of everything, goods and services produced in our economy. Hold on, man. Dogs are Alright, my bad. Might have to edit this. So might not. The total value of everything, goods and services that produced in our economy, that would be GDP. The total value of everything, goods and services produced in our economy. How much do we consume of goods and services in the black community, all right? Now, this gonna make a lot of sense right here, because what you're gonna realize is that, what you're gonna wanna realizing is that all the stuff that we consume, all the stuff that we buy, most of that shit, we don't own it. We give all our money away. We don't own a piece of nothing where that money can come back into our own pockets. But we can do that though. First, we gotta know how to do it. You understand? First, we gotta know what it mean, what the image of that look like. See what I'm saying? So, I'm gonna throw this in there. This is a keynote right here for y'all. Why not issue all so-called African American citizens a 20% discount card on all products and services in North America? This will raise the economy and lower poverty. All right. You know why they don't do that? Because they don't fuck with us. They don't fuck with us like that. So that would never happen. If you thinking somebody finna get in politics and change some shit from that system right there, nothing about that system. There's nothing about that system about to change. They not trying to change up their ways. They don't give a fuck. That's their business. That's what they do. You want to keep buying from them, that's what you're doing. They're going to convince you that that's all you got. And trust me, they not giving you shit. They going to give you what they've been giving you. And that's it. They're gonna try to come up with new ways to pacify you. Like, even the shit I just said is bullshit. Like, if you want to go get a 20% discount card just to keep buying shit from the same motherfuckers, then we ain't getting too far with that. We still giving them all our money. You see what I'm saying? Like they got a bird feeders. We don't need to be bird fed. We don't need to be bird fed. I go pick my own fucking fruit. You feel me? So check this out. So this is the question. Does low population growth affect the economy? All right, I'm gonna answer that question for y'all. Does low population growth affect the economy? Research says population growth leads to greater economic growth. This is because more people in an economy means more ideas, which in turn are an important driver of economic growth. That's just one aspect, all right? But that right there alone, you gotta look at the flip side to that. Like, when it comes to our community, the black community, we are in prison. Women get put on welfare, food stamps, government assistance, housing, things of that nature. The kids, they got our kids out here taking drugs and violence and some music. They killing each other. They taking drugs. The drugs killing them, and then they locking them up and getting caught with the shit. You kill two birds with one stone and things of that nature. All of this abortions, the abortion rights in our community at the rate it is at, the workforce See what I'm saying? And then who we working for, what our children learning, they level of thinking when they're alone, the things they have. All this leads to a lower population growth. If you look at it for the worst, for the things for the what's the worst that could happen. You know what I'm saying? A low population growth. So now we gotta see, okay, if that's one of the main causes of economic growth, population, well, how can we change that, right? So what does economic growth have to do with living in a wealthier, healthier, and happier community? What is wealth, what is health, and what is happiness when it comes to a community of people? What is wealth, what is health, and what is happiness when it comes to a community of people? What is that? What does that look like? All right. So, let me see. So what does economic growth have to do with living in a wealthier, healthier, and happier community? All right. That's everything. That's just everything. Like the finances. I just kind of broke it all down to y'all, but that everything I broke down to y'all, that's what it has to do with it. Like your health, you know what I'm saying? Like healthier lives or happier lives, and happier lives are less stressful lives. Less stress causes less violence. You know what I'm saying? Poverty, areas that are have the most poverty have the most violence. You know what I'm saying? So it all ties together. All right, so I don't want to say too much because I just want to open up some brains. I don't want to get too deep into it. So I want to make sure that the understanding is there and that the concepts are there. This is for concepts, and this is what it's got to be. This is the way. This is the way. So look, check this out. And when I'm spitting this to you, I want you to understand like that if we can move like this as a people, as a unit, we understand we all got the right thought process, and it's like oneness when we know how to think and we know how to move and operate morally and off of principles, and we know what they doing to us, and we know what we should be doing. We're doing the best we can. What's the next play? Here we go. So check this out. If we are on a piece of the places we shop for food, the places we go to protect our money, the places we go for healthcare services, the institutions and platforms we receive our information from, the schools that our children and young adults attend, and the companies we work in, we can circle the money back into our own pockets. If we all own a piece of all of these places, if we all put our money together to buy these places, and then we all just own a tiny piece of them. You know what I'm saying? Like for real, like our community, only us. For real, you call it racist, it ain't racist. This is for economic growth. This ain't about you, it's about me. You see what I'm saying? For real, so check this out, by consuming and investing in companies that we are a part of, we raise the economic growth of our communities. Simple as that. So look, population. Let's get back on this population. So what are the number one reasons why the population of our communities are not growing? We just talked about that. So overdose, abortions, violence, incarceration, overall health, right? And what you putting in up top. So let's talk about overdose for a second. A lot of ODs come from people who are unaware of what they're taking. Awareness is key. If people understand that certain drugs got certain things in it that could probably kill you, like just from taking one, you know what I'm saying? Like it's poison. Like understand which drugs you can take and what you can't take. You know what I'm saying? What you should do. Like awareness is very key. So when it comes like to drugs, and then it also comes with a real love and strength of being able to be aware when somebody going too far, when somebody doing something they shouldn't be doing. Man, I'm telling you, telling somebody something and lacing them up on game could literally save somebody's life. It could save somebody's life just from being real with them, getting on somebody's ass, talking to them like nobody else would talk to them, telling them some real shit that everybody else seems too afraid to even open their mouth and say, because they don't want to be, because the society we live in too fucking sensitive to take some real shit, some constructive criticism or some constructive suggestions for your life. But somebody had the love and the heart to tell you the truth, and you don't want to take it in. I'm gonna tell it to you the right way if I'm gonna give it to you. So, and I'm trying to save your life. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. Drugs like fentanyl, it's a lot of shit out there. Fentanyl is killing people at a very fast rate. So the news say, you know what I'm saying? I don't count everybody, I don't keep up with everybody, but that's what they say. That's what's going on. Fentanyl is killing people very fast. So that awareness right there should let you know, watch out for these little blue or these certain pills or whatever the fuck, you know what I'm saying, it's got, or anything that could possibly have fentanyl in it. And it's not just pills, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's really not. So awareness is key on that one. You should do your own research, for real, for real. And if you do your research, if this is you doing your research, I'm gonna tell you like this: they put fentanyl in everything except for maybe a couple things, a few things. You do your own research. I don't want to be the one to tell you something and you thinking something else might not got it in there. You do your own research. Shit, you got a good plug. You keep your plug. Keep your plug. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Just watch out for them drugs. Let's move forward. So the next thing, when it comes to population deaths, did you know since the year 2020, and you know it's way back before then, but since 2020, guns and drugs have been the number one causes of death. Guns and drugs has been the number one cause of death. Know that. So we're talking about drugs. Fentanyl been the number one cause of death with drugs, and when it comes to guns and violence, the age group and most likely people who listen to a certain kind of music or live in certain areas that are in, or all right, what's the word? Impoverished, or is it, you know what I'm saying? Certain areas that, well, certain people that come from poverty wind up doing violent things. Let's just say like that. People rob, steal, kill, all kind of shit when they aren't happy. You understand what I'm saying? So, in drugs, people do drugs when they want to disconnect from reality. People try drugs because they put drugs in certain communities. People around you do it. It's been going on so long. This shit is like in your DNA. It's in the seed. You know what I'm saying? Like it's basically like, what's the word? It's ancestry. You know what I'm saying? Like, it really is. It's like it's in your DNA, man. Like, you never know what a grandma went through, a granddaddy or something like that down the line had it that just passed down to you. And it's just like you reliving somebody else's life in a whole nother year, a new year. You know what I'm saying? It's guns and drugs all over again. So that's just a couple things. Overdose and death is one of the overdose, guns and drugs are the number one cause of death, and we want to make sure that we got a population rising. Right? Overdose, abortions, violence, incarceration, guns and drugs, you know what I'm saying? All that's population right there. We need to get that shit under control when it comes to our communities, when it comes to our people. We need to get that shit under control. If a nigga got a gun, if you know somebody with a gun, right? Somebody you know they got a gun, and you know that person ain't even capable or not even smart enough to have a gun, not even smart enough to make the right decisions with a gun, why would you let them have a gun? Why don't you tell them they shouldn't have a gun? Take that motherfucker from their ass. Tell them that they weak and they scary for keeping a gun or something, because you know that they mental capacity ain't even right to even have a gun. Or how they moving, you know what I'm saying? You trying to keep up with a society of dumb motherfuckers and trying to fit in, doing what you think is right. And the shit ain't even right. Like, for real, you moving in fear. For real, fear alone. I walk in faith. If I gotta move in fear to go somewhere, I shouldn't be there. I shouldn't go there. Alright, so let's move forward. I'm just gonna throw this in there, like this is the aftermath of the economic growth. I'm wrapping it up. So I'm gonna talk about relationships right quick. So this is a couple of things I got from taking notes on Sister Shahrazad Ali, and I threw a couple of my own things in there with it just to break it down. So we could talk about relationships in our communities, in the black community for sure. But I don't want to separate nobody, but I'm for sure aiming at the black community when I'm spitting this, what I'm spitting for real, because we the ones that need the economic growth in our communities, because they trying to take us out. We are being oppressed. We are under attack. So when it comes to these relationships, first you want to know if your partner or who you're dealing with has the intellectual compatibility in a relationship with understanding of what it means to be black in America, knowing that we are actually under attack. You know what I'm saying? Knowing what's going on and knowing that You know what I'm saying? You want to find out if that person is willing to understand that a lot of our behaviors are remnants of our ancestral slave history. You understand? Predictive programming and social engineering. Like a like a lot of our behaviors. You know what I'm saying? It's like I was just saying earlier, it's in the DNA. It trickles down from our ancestors, predictive programming, social engineering. And I mean, it's a lot of this stuff, but this is how we are undertake. I made a video about it a while back. You know, it's not there no more. But we need to, when it comes to relationships, we need to know that a lot of ideas are designed to break us up. We need to know that a lot of the ideas in the society that we come from are actually designed to keep us broken up. You know, like I told you earlier with the welfare and prison and niggas doing this, women doing that. You know what I'm saying? That unbalance in the household. So, and look, me, I can speak about this stuff. Like I don't know how other people that be talking what they got going on and shit like that, but I had to enter the dark to get to the light for real. Like for real. Like I still stay. I pay my bills for real. I work. I pay my bills. My baby mama, she work. We pay bills. We got kids. We gotta buy diapers and formula, and we got shit. We got WIC and shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm just saying it is what it is. See, but these are conversations right here. These are conversations right here that we need to come together more for understanding. Like I can't expect this platform or the internet to get this across when it should just be, I gotta get the thought processing right where you can just comprehend it, what's right and what's wrong, what I should do and what I shouldn't do. This is a chess game. So that a lot of ideas are designed to break us up, keep us dependent, that the whole system is against us. But we will make it work. We need to know that. It takes balance to make a relationship work. It takes a partnership and a knowing that we play equal parts. Now, what does it mean to play equal parts in a relationship, right? We got a man and a woman, right? So we got the masculine, we got the feminine. But see, we need to understand that the masculine and the feminine, one doesn't overpower because you a man don't mean you overpower the woman. Because you a woman don't mean the man got to do everything for you. You know what I'm saying? It's called balance, masculine and feminine. And that's why I try to say that each individual person has a masculine and a feminine to them, but as a man, you have more of a masculine aspect of you, and as a woman, you have more of a feminine aspect. But when we are unbalanced, we have women that have more of a masculine aspect, we have men that have more of a feminine aspect, and that's unbalanced in the household and in life. So once we get that shit together right there, we can focus on, oh, you the man of the household, how you should be treated. You the woman of the household, how you should be treated. The ideology that we have when you speak and you really mean where you coming from, or is your ideology even correct to command this household properly? Or are you doing a whole bunch of stupid shit where shouldn't nobody have to listen to your shit as a man or as a woman? You know what I'm saying? It don't matter. But that's what I'm saying. It takes balance to make a relationship work as equals. Nobody's greater than the other one because that's real balance. But understand that this the part I play. That's the part you play. This the shit I do. That's the shit you do. It shouldn't be no we competing. Ain't no competition. If we both trying to get to the same place, that we got the same goals. You know what I'm saying? We trying to strive and thrive. For real, like this is what it really takes. We gotta play equal parts. I really get tired of people like niggas thinking that, oh, cause you the man, she gotta listen to everything you say. Like, bro, like if you're gonna be the king, set the rules though, but you gotta follow the rules too. You gotta be disciplined for real and have character, my nigga. You better have balance amongst yourself. Be a real man. Be a stand up guy. You better have a little. You better have a little. Know what an alpha male is. When it comes, I don't give a fuck about you being an alpha male around other niggas and shit like that. I'm talking about who are you at home, who are you in your life. How vision are you about your life? And for the single, the ones who single, it's the same concept. Same concept on who you are as a person, the aspect of you a man and you a woman, and you are balanced. So both you have facts, you have opinions, you have logic, and you have emotions. But at the same time, what aspects are you basing your truths off of? How are you moving out here? Are you bitching and shit? You know what I'm saying? Are you walking it? Are you doing what you're supposed to be doing? You know what I'm saying? When you know, like, do you have empathy for others? Do you have compassion for others? Do Are you able to see the truth or your intellectual compatibility in the relationship? You see what I'm saying? Do you understand that your partner might not fully understand certain concepts, or are you willing to teach them that? It's a lot to relationships. That's what I'm saying. Like all the stuff we just spoke about, like we kind of far behind, fam. Like we really, I don't know. I'm just giving the game. I'm just giving it out there. We back. It's gonna put like this. Each one teach one. As long as I put it out there, it's gonna get where it need to get. The concepts and the places and understand. Like we can. I told you we catching up about thousands of years. So once we got the mind in order, now we can put the actions together and we can catch up by hundreds of years. Do you feel what I'm saying? We got hundreds of years and hundreds of years to catch up on, if not thousands. For real, for real. We got more catching up to do when it comes to being balanced. But I'm just talking about us now. And, oppression. Got to deal with it. It's done. What's done is done. We can only move forward. So that's that. And this is economic growth in the black community.